of Thomas. These are the hidden sayings that the living Jesus spoke and Judas Thomas the twin recorded. And he said, "Whoever discerns the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death." Jesus said, "Let one who seeks not stop seeking until one finds. When one finds, one will be troubled. When one is troubled, one will marvel and will reign over all." Jesus said, "If your leaders say to you, 'Look, the kingdom is in heaven,' then the birds of heaven will precede you. If they say to you, 'It is in the sea,' then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside you, and it is outside you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, then you dwell in poverty, and you are poverty." Jesus said, "The person old in days will not hesitate to ask a little child 7 days old about the place of life, and that person will live. For many of the first will be last, and will become a single one." Jesus said, "Know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed to you. For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed." His disciples asked him and said to him, "Do you want us to fast? How should we pray? Should we give to charity? What diet should we observe?" Jesus said, "Do not lie, and do not do what you hate, because all things are disclosed before heaven. For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and there is nothing covered that will not remain undisclosed." Jesus said, "Blessed is the lion that the human will eat, so that the lion becomes human, and cursed is the human that the lion will eat, and the lion will become human." And he said, "Humankind is like a wise fisherman who cast his net into the sea and drew it up from the sea full of little fish. Among them the wise fisherman discovered a large fish. He threw all the little fish back into the sea, and with no difficulty chose the large fish. Whoever has ears to hear should hear." Jesus said, "Look, the sower went out, took a handful of seeds, and scattered them. Some fell on the road, and the birds came and pecked them up. Others fell on rock, and they did not take root in the soil, and did not produce heads of grain. Others fell on thorns, and they choked the seeds, and worms devoured them. And others fell on good soil, and it brought forth a good crop. It yielded 60 per measure, and 120 per measure." Jesus said, "I have thrown fire upon the world, and look, I am watching it until it blazes." Jesus said, "This heaven will pass away, and the one above it will pass away. The dead are not alive, and the living will not die. During the days when you ate what is dead, you made it alive. When you are in the light, what will you do? On the day when you were one, you became two. But when you become two, what will you do?" The disciples said to Jesus, "We know that you're going to leave us. Who will be our leader?" Jesus said to them, "No matter where you have come from, you are to go to James the just, for whose sake heaven and earth came into being." Jesus said to his disciples, "Compare me to something and tell me what I am like." Simon Peter said to him, "You're like a just messenger." Matthew said to him, "You're like a wise philosopher." Thomas said to him, "Teacher, my mouth is utterly unable to say what you are like." Jesus said, "I am not your teacher. Because you have drunk, you have become intoxicated from the bubbling spring that I have tended." And he took him and withdrew him and spoke 3 sayings to him. When Thomas came back to his friends, they asked him, "What did Jesus say to you?" Thomas said to them, "If I tell you one of the sayings he spoke to me, you will pick up rocks and stone me, and fire will come from the rocks and consume you." Jesus said to them, "If you fast, you will bring sin upon yourselves. And if you pray, you will be condemned. And if you give to charity, you will harm your spirits. When you go into any region and walk through the countryside, when people receive you, eat what they serve you, and heal the sick among them. For what goes into your mouth will not defile you. Rather, it is what comes out of your mouth that will defile you." Jesus said, "When you see one who was not born of a woman fall on your faces and worship, that is your Father." Jesus said, "Perhaps people think that I have come to impose peace upon the world. They do not know that I have come to impose conflicts upon the earth. Fire, sword, war. For there will be 5 in a house. There will be 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father against son, son against father, and they will stand alone." Jesus said, "I shall give you what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no hand has touched, what has not arisen in the human heart." The disciples said to Jesus, "Tell us how our end will be." Jesus said, "Have you discovered the beginning then, so that you are seeking the end? For where the beginning is, the end will be. Blessed is one who stands at the beginning. That one will know the end and will not taste death." Jesus said, "Blessed is one who came into being before coming into being. If you become my disciples and listen to my sayings, these stones will serve you. For there are 5 trees in paradise for you. They do not change summer or winter, and their leaves do not fall. Whoever knows them will not taste death." The disciples said to Jesus, "Tell us what heaven's kingdom is like." He said to them, "It is like a mustard seed. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it falls on prepared soil, it produces a large plant and becomes a shelter for birds of heaven." Mary said to Jesus, "What are your disciples like?" He said, "They are like children living in a field that is not theirs. When the owners of the field come, they will say, 'Give our field back to us.' They take their clothes off in front of them in order to give it back to them, and they return their field to them. For this reason I say, if the owner of a house knows that a thief is coming, He will be on guard before the thief arrives, and will not let the thief break into the house of his estate and steal his possessions. As for you then, be on guard against the world. Arm yourselves with great strength, or the robbers might find a way to get you. For the trouble you expect will come. Let there be among you a person who understands. When the crop ripened, the person came quickly with a sickle in hand and harvested it. Whoever has ears to hear should hear. Jesus saw some nursing babies. He said to his disciples, "These nursing babies are like those who enter the kingdom." They said to him, "Then shall we enter the kingdom as babies?" Jesus said to them, "When you make the two into one, and when you make the inner like the outer, and the outer like the inner, and the upper like the lower, and when you make male and female into a single one, so that male will not be male, nor the female be female, when you make eyes in place of an eye, a hand in place of a hand, a foot in place of a foot, an image in place of an image, then you will enter the kingdom." Jesus said, "I shall choose you 1 from 1,000 and 2 from 10,000, and they will stand as a single one." His disciples said, "Show us the place where you are from, for we must seek it." He said to them, "Whoever has ears should hear. There is light within a person of light, and it shines on the whole world. If it does not shine, it is dark.